Paul Singh. I'm back. I have more of a personal question. I so like how you grapple with this form. I am very curious how you'll grapple with this one. I grew up as a dancer in the San Francisco Bay Area, starting almost 40 years ago. And I was struck then, as I am struck today around the world, just how few gay men are attracted to this dance form. And I want to ask you this because you have the multiple perspectives of being a gay man and also a person of color. And we see relatively few people of color who are attracted to contact improvisation. It's better than it was before, but it's still something that we just don't see much of. So I'm wondering how it is for you personally, being a person of color and a gay man dancing in this community. And I'm wondering if you have any insights as to why. Is it that a person of color comes and does not see themselves reflected in the community? So it's one of those things where, oh, people like us don't do things like that. Or a gay man comes in and goes, oh, there's not that many others here. Am I comfortable here? Or is there something else to it? I'm wondering what your perspective is. Digging deep here. Thanks a lot.
Okay, Martin, here is your third question, which is a hard one for me. You were wondering why there aren't a lot of people of color or gay people, or a combination of both, in the contact scene. And I'm probably a good person to ask, simply because I'm an example of both, a person of color and a gay man. It's a hard question. I don't see a lot of people of color in the classes I teach in academia. Don't see a lot of people of color in the contact scene. On the festival circuit in Europe or domestically, don't see a lot of gay people. That's being addressed, but it's still an out on a limb situation. I watched my parents come to this country so many years ago, and I watched them work hard and fight and struggle alongside a lot of their white colleagues who worked hard and fought and struggled also, but didn't have the same extra obstacles to fight against that my parents and other people of color did. And so I continue to see that today, and I think that's a constant obstacle for the contact scene. I watch friends of mine that retire from dance and come to contact and find it as a great way to stay physical and a hobby and a luxury. And I don't think contact gets to be a hobby or a luxury for a person of color that is still constantly fighting these extra obstacles that other people don't have to face. And that is the simplicity of, I can't make your Tuesday or your Saturday jam because I'm still fighting those obstacles. And when other people might find or come to contact as a luxury, a hobby, or something on the side you've fallen in love with, that's not an opportunity or an option for a lot of people of color. As far as being gay, I'm not sure. I think a lot of, I can't speak to everyone, but I think a lot of gay men first found comfort and solace in dance because it was this wonderful world of escape in ways of the common world that could shun you, but it was this world of art that was accepting of people that worked hard to be talented and focused on their craft and applauded their efforts when they would get jobs on Broadway where you were, lucratively compensated and still continue to work hard and surrounded by your peers and colleagues that would support you. And in contact, we don't have a lot of that financial support, or it's not a field of study that's given enough credit in academia, or it's getting there, but it doesn't have a lot of draw for a gay man, because there aren't a lot of gay men in it, the dynamic is very heterosexual. That can be super uncomfortable. Why go through another layer of discomfort that you fought so hard to eschew by fighting the first one already, by finding a place of comfort with, certain classical styles like ballet or modern or a dance major or Broadway or, dance houses where you can take classes in. So, yeah, I don't know if I'm answering this question so well, but I don't think. Sometimes I think a lot of gay men are still using professional dance maybe to hide behind. And contact isn't a place where you can hide anything of you, any part of you. All your vulnerabilities are on display at all times, not just to the room at large, not just to your partner, but also to yourself. And for those people that might not realize they're still scared, or they're willing to say, this place gives me comfort, so I'm going to stop asking questions from here. Contact will constantly force you to ask questions. Be upfront with yourself. In a strange, weird way, I've found a lot of heterosexual men in the contact world that are interested in getting more in touch with their sensitive sides, maybe seeking me out, seeing that I'm a teacher, or I'm offering ways to get in touch with your vulnerability, or I'm always just saying, let's bury ourselves in the work, and that's something they connect to. But they'll maybe ask me to help them get in touch with sides of themselves that are more open to polyamory or larger scopes of sexuality. And that always makes me laugh because it's like, oh, and now I feel like I'm being used for my homosexual inherent qualities because you want to find yours. But at the end of the day, you're just skirting that line and you'll go back to your safety net of being the norm, while some of us continue to live in that not so easy place. So that's one other strange aspect of what I'm watching. Not such an answer to your question, but just an off-roading aside. Ooh, I'm gonna get in trouble for these answers, I feel. I feel like there was one other thing I wanted to say. We're trying desperately to get people of color and gay people into the contact scene. There are diversity scholarships set up at dance places. Earth Dance has one in particular that I know about. We're broadcasting. I mean, does that mean you have to go to other types of dance that attract more people of color? Parkour, capoeira, African Caribbean dance classes. Do we need to go put flyers out to them? And I don't know. I just want the form itself to be the thing that draws the person. The sport nature of it, the physicality, the sensitivity, the listening of it. I want all that to be the draw, not we want to look more diverse because the world is a more diverse place and we've done it and now we're a great example of what diversity is. I see that happen in professional dance pieces where sometimes you don't know as the person of color anymore if you're there for your talent or if the piece needs to look more diverse so you can apply for more grant and funding. Because you filled in that token spot. And is contact improv now looking to be more token? Definitely not. We're seeing what's lacking in this form that we want to make more reflection of what the world and society is. But it's hard, that line between, are we forcing it to happen or are we making the form itself open enough to let people have interest enough to come find it on their own? Yeah, it's tricky. I'm sometimes tired of being the anomaly in the room. I said this, I've been saying this for the last year when I realized it, but I work desperately hard in contact improv to be someone who's at a jam or in the room or teaching to be very good at what I do. I want to be witnessed, and if you're going to give me the time to witness me, I'm going to up my level of dancing to offer you back the risk and the vulnerability to meet you as well. But I do that because I think it is so important for people to see that good quality dancing, particularly contact improv, can come out of a body of color. And you don't see that enough in the form, so I carry that mantle. And it's a lot of pressure, but it's one I use in my favor to help my dancing. Yeah, that's important to me. I think it's my duty to do that. And it's something I'm grappling with, and I hope it somehow helps in a small way garner more attention to people of color and gay people to find their way into the room. How to do that, I'm not sure, but that's where I think we are now.